All right. So one of the cool things here was bringing out Kenwood High School and Coach Turner coming out here bringing his guys. It's a pretty cool deal for us and for those kids to come out here and be a part of some of our stuff there at the beginning. And I think that's what it's all about. I've always talked about high school football and just talking to Coach Turner a little bit in regards to that program and what they're doing is neat. So that was good. As far as us and getting ready for this fourth preseason game, it'll be a good time for us to continue to evaluate the roster depth that we have. So guys will be excited for that. And then before you know it, we'll be here at week one. So it's an exciting time for us. And again, we had a good day of practice and weather, so I like that.
Do you have the idea of who you think is going to be on your final roster at this point? Or are you still unsure about a couple people?
Yeah, we're still unsure at some spots, that's every team right now. No one knows fully who their guys are going to be, but we feel like we have a lot of tough decisions ahead, and I think some of that, it's not all going to be here in this fourth preseason game, but it'll either help or hurt some others.
What have you seen from Duke Shelley in the games, and what do you hope to see on Thursday?
Yeah, he's getting used to the speed of the game. He's a twitchy kid that can play inside and has good ball skills, and so I think just the more he gets playing time wise, the slower the game will be, but I like where he's at.
How much will Chris Tabor's decision of who he wants in special teams though with those finals?
That plays a big part of it for sure. It's for us being able to you have some guys that are close. If one guy has more special teams value, and can play 4 phases, etc., then that's what we look for.
Are Miller and Lynch doing more today? They were limited yesterday. You said, are they doing more today?
Yeah, they did a little bit more today, and I think again they're getting to where they need to be at. But we like how they looked yesterday. We like how they look today.
Matt, what have you seen from your defense over the last month that makes you think that they can replicate the success they had 14 turnovers last season?
Just how fast they're flying around, their gaps and assignments that they're playing. You can see they're playing with confidence. So, we for us, I think the biggest thing is just making sure the most reps they can get mentally with Coach Pagano and what he does is big. And then the tackling side of it, the nice thing with our defense is we have a lot of vets. And so they know how to tackle. They've been there, done that, and so it's more so of a mindset.
Matt, once you knew that Mitch was going to go into the regular season without any preseason action per se, what do you think was the most important thing that you did or wanted to do to kind of ensure his preparedness, to make up for that?
Yeah.
What was the most important thing?
Just making sure that number one, he understands that going into it, and that we want him to be fresh, and then mentally understanding where we're at, making sure that we evaluate him every day with our evaluation process, not with everybody else's. We know where he's getting better and how he can do that. And so if we felt like in one practice that he had to have more reps or we wanted to try some different concepts out with him, then we could do that. But I think overall, it's just, again, building that quote-unquote library without being in the preseason live tackling.
Matt, we're not going to see you tomorrow, so how are you balancing with about a week out now
Yeah.
from that first week between tomorrow's preseason game, Thursday's preseason game and week 1 against Stanford?
Yeah, the nice thing is we have a bunch of coaches on this staff, so being able to pass the ball and make sure that we're all kind of handling different phases of, the next couple weeks. And to tell you the truth, that's pretty much every team in the NFL that does that. So you got to make sure that the positions that are going to be the ones that come down to the end, that I'm making sure that I'm picking those outliers and watching those to help with any of the decisions. But then also game planning for Green Bay. And we, unlike every other team other than Green Bay, have a short week. So we have to make sure that we're looking at them too this week while we're looking at Tennessee.
Anthony Miller said yesterday that the defense did a good job of carrying you guys through a lot of stretches
Mm-hmm.
last year. And he said that the offense, pointing the thumb, that needs to do more of their part this year. Do you see that happening, and do you agree with that?
I think that was probably part of the process last year. You had a group of guys that have played together with a coordinator that has been with them, and now this year or last year it was new. But we know that we want to be better. Our goal is not to be where we were last year on offense. Our goal is to be tops in the league, and if we can do that, then we feel like we can do a lot of good things as a team. But they're early on in the season. I think in particular, you look back at, like, for instance, Arizona, the Cardinals game last year. Our defense really held us in there, and it was a frustrating game just early in the season for us. But then I think as we went on, we started getting more and more confidence.
Matt, this renovation is pretty much done. I think there's a media tour coming up in a couple days. How would you say the whole thing benefits the Bears the most, having this new facility here?
So every day you pull on in here, you're just so thankful. You know that you have top of the line in everything, no matter where it is, whether it's the hydrotherapy pools for the players, whether it's the training room, the weight room, the coaches' offices, the players' offices, the cafeteria. I mean, it's first class. And I think sometimes what I think we're starting to realize now is in free agency, you end up having some guys that are going and comparing our facility to what they just came from or what they're looking at currently, and it helps put them over the top. And so y'all will see that. You'll be blown away I've talked to some people that have been in a lot of different facilities in the NFL, and they're talking about this being the best one.
Matt, I know that Soldier Field in August isn't quite the same as Soldier Field in December.
Yeah.
But I'm curious to see whether Eddie's success on the road carries over to home.
Sure. Yeah, I am. I think it's, he's going to have however many Bears fans that are there watching them and knowing you have that. It is outdoors. It's not inside like it was in Indianapolis. But, again, every day, every kick that he gets, we're all going to be evaluating him and trying to – but I think, from last weekend, what he just did, it's definitely looking good for us, and I hope it stays that way.
He seems really popular with his teammates, not just the special teams guys, but offense and defense. You see guys joking around with him all the time. Is that rare from what you've seen for a kicker to actually with the whole team like that?
Yeah, I mean, I've been around some kickers that are a little bit unique. I've been around kickers that are pretty cool. And for what it's worth, it doesn't make you a good or bad kicker, but I'd say that he falls on the cool side.
Have you been looking at the conditions for Thursday night? Do you see what it's going to be like?
No, what is it?
It's supposed to be a little windy.
Oh, windy? Good. That's we like that. Isn't that why we call it the Windy City, or am I wrong?
No.
I know. I knew. I knew it. I'm not a politician, but I knew the answer.
And not the air that comes out of their mouth.
That.
Yeah, Matt, when I asked you about Bradley Saul a couple weeks ago, you were pretty upbeat about his transition he was making. What have the games shown as far as what he does or doesn't do, or just his readiness to play that position at the NFL level?
Yeah, he's in my opinion, he's a developmental guy that's worked really hard to get to where he's at right now. So we need to have some patience, and we'll see how he fits with this team and at certain positions. But you deal with guys like him that sacrifice themselves to make the team better in a certain position. He did that, and so I just don't think it'd be fair for us to criticize him too hard right now just because he is learning. But I like where he's at, and I have a lot of confidence in him.
Matt, are you hopeful that Steven Denmark's going to finally get out there this week?
We'll see. We haven't made a decision on that yet, but he had that unfortunate deal. It's been out for a while now, and he's another developmental guy, so being able to see him would be great.
Matt, when you look and you start to interact with the kids from Kenwood and the coaches, do you reflect on just the last 10 years in your journey when you were in high school a decade ago?
It goes quick. Number one, I have my oldest just started high school this year, and so that's you see that I'm dealing with kids that age all the time, and then I go back to thinking when I was coaching high school ball, like you said, 11 years ago, 10 years ago, and so I realized that's some special times there. As a player, some of my greatest memories. You learn so much. Those are your brothers out there. It starts there, your high school coaches, and so to be able to come out here with an NFL team and hang out and show them what you could do, I told them we're going to be keeping an eye on them here in the next few years with the draft.
Man, with regard to the renovations, I'm curious, is all this just kind of extra or gratuitous, or are there certain things that the expansion gives you that you think an NFL team absolutely needs to be successful?
It's a good question. For a lot of reasons, it's not fluff, if that's what you're asking.
Yeah.
This is all stuff that I think helps make our coaches better. It helps make our players better because it's new, and there's a lot of reasons behind what we're doing. And then I think more than anything, I mean, all of us, you want to appreciate coming to work, and if you don't, or if your environment's just a little bit off, it can sometimes damper where you're at, no matter what you're doing. And when you all come through here and walk through here, you tell me you're going to be if you're in a bad mood, you're not really that human coming through here.
How much more do you know about the nuances of kicking than you ever did in your coaching
Oh, I'm
career?
telling you, I feel like I'm an expert. I've never kicked ever in my life. I've never tried. I'd hurt myself. But I've always been good with math, and now it doesn't matter. The second that the ball gets put on a certain yard line, it's plus 18 and let's go. And right away in my head, I know where it is. And but the mentality of it too. I mean, it's a unique situation that we're all in, and I think I'm learning on how to handle these situations too. This is my first time going through it, so Am I going to be right with everything I do or say? No, but hopefully I learn from it, and hopefully there's a good story behind all this. And for all of us, how cool would it be for it to work out, and you go through some ups and downs to find that guy.
Matt, the work you've done with the starters the last week for game preparation, how much can you accomplish as a ramp up to Sunday in the start of game week?
In regards to
how much more can you get it done ahead of time, leading into Sunday?
Yeah. No, there's some things that we can do. A lot of it you can get done in meeting times, talking to guys, watching tape, that sort of thing. But that's nothing new. Every team's doing that. So it's more so just making sure that whatever you are getting done with that team, like I said yesterday, you don't want to get into a situation to where you're just getting into where you're just trying to load the thing up with lots of plays or lots of different blitzes and coverages and schemes, because then you're not really getting good at what you do.
Not the human aspect of cutting.
Yeah.
Many guys you're going to cut this weekend. What did you learn about that last year? Being a guy who either had to deliver the message.
That's the, we have a lot of perks in my position and in Ryan's position, a lot of perks and a lot of good things that happen. And for both of us, those are not the perks. Those are hard. But one thing that I hang my hat on, and I did it when I got here as a head coach with the hiring and firing of coaches, is just be real, be honest with them, tell them how they can improve, and then tell them how you'll help them. If you truly feel like they can still play for another team, then help them and give them a chance. And then you never burn bridges, and you make sure that, you never know. I always tell them, you never know when we cross paths again. So I'm just real, I'm honest, and there's some emotional ones too that can be very difficult.
Was there anyone last year who you guys made a phone call for or helped out to kind of land on their feet outside of the building?
You're putting me on the spot right now. No one that I can particularly think of right now that jumps out. But I know there's been some tough ones. Even throughout the season, you get to a position where, for whatever reason, you got to make a move, and it's never easy. I hate that part.
Do those type of conversations ever get easier for you, or is it sort of
No, it doesn't. No, because actually, matter of fact, they probably get harder when you start getting to some guys that, for me, last year, a first-year guy, there's not many relationships built. But the longer I'm at this thing, you build more relationships, and you're there with them longer. So when you do have to have those conversations, those are the ones that rip your heart out.
The human side of that, I'm sure, is going to be hard every year, regardless of the competition. But do you have a sense of how much tougher these cuts are going to be a year later, just because the competition has been so much tougher this summer?
Yeah, you can. And I think Ryan and I, big picture, kind of have an idea going into this, really where some of the battles are going to be at, where you know where that depth's at, and then you try to prep for it. But then things change, and everything usually just happens for a reason, and it all plays itself out. And so when things happen, or somebody plays better than you thought they were, or somebody doesn't play as well as you thought they were going to play, then that's where sometimes the chips can move to where you have to say, whoa, I didn't think I was going to have to make this decision. We're trying to keep the best players, maybe not necessarily the best positions. And so they're never easy. And so now the other part of this too for me is that we're on a short week, so they can't be long discussions either, because we're trying to get ready for Green Bay.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks, Coach.
Yep.
Appreciate it. Well, I'll take the first 3.5. Hang on, let's already know. Incoming.
How y'all doing?
Okay.
I'm all right.
What was it like to see those young kids from Kenwood Academy out there today? Sort of make you go back in time to when you were in high school?
Yeah, most definitely. It was cool, just sitting around talking to them, and, just chopping it up with them, getting to know them a little bit. It's cool, and like just for them to be, well, for me, when I was in their shoes, we didn't really have that opportunity to come out here and talk to guys or NFL teams. So for us, that's why I was just sitting out there just talking to them, because I know it means a lot.
What kind of questions did they ask, if they did ask any?
They didn't really ask too many questions. They were just, basically just shocked, still in shock that they was meeting us. But I was just asking them questions about what the position they play, how many offers, and who got offers, and, what schools and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, any advice you give them, just overall general advice?
Yeah, man, just stay in school, just focus on your grades and keep playing ball, because it's a lot into it, just not just with the football part, but with the grades and being focused in school. So that got to be at the top of the list.
Eddie, about a week out from Green Bay, a little over a week now. How are you managing your time? Are you all in on Green Bay? What's your focus right now?
Oh, all in. Most definitely all in on Green Bay. We've been out of it for a while. we anxious. You know, we real anxious right now. You know, we want to play so bad. You know, and just sitting out of preseason, it's just getting us. You know, you got that feeling in your stomach right now. We want to get back to it, so we def all in.
Is because you haven't played in the preseason? Is there some uncertainty among the defense at all, just how good you're going to be?
No. Like I said, we always confident. You know, that's one thing about us. You know, we go out there and we can see it. You know, especially going against our offense. You know, the type of talent we have on the offensive side of the ball, and for us to go out there and compete and do a good job against those guys, it just shows us that we're ready. And, you know, Coach Nagy's been doing great situations in practice, putting us in real life game situations, and just to see how everyone reacts to that, and you see a positive output. It just shows everyone's minds on one thing.
Has the communication been pretty simple between you and HaHa because you've known each other in the past?
Yeah, most definitely. And we both love the game, you know, and we get it, you know. And he got a lot to prove, and for him coming from Green Bay, you know, and for him to be in Chicago, that's one of the biggest things, to be one of our biggest rivals. So he's all in, and right now we're trying to create and build something special.
And is there any like irony to you that HaHa's here and Adrian's in Green Bay as you go into this game?
No, man. It was at first I just thought of him like that's crazy. How they get Adrian and we get HaHa, but we just ready to go out there and compete. You know, ready to play. We're not thinking about who's at Green Bay, who's here now. We just ready to compete.
What's it like to know that when you step on the field, you got the best defense in the National Football League?
I mean, it feels good. You know, it's just confidence level, man. We're gonna always think that, no matter if we won a number 99, whatever. You know, we're gonna always think we're the best and come out and compete and play our game.
Anthony Miller was talking about how he wants the offense to do their part this year, that you guys kind of carry things. Do you ever think about what that would look like if both the offense and the defense were elite?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. It's scary. And you've seen that, the end of the last year. You know, it was a new team, new faces around on the offensive side of the ball. So right now you just see the chemistry they have with mentioning different type of receivers. You know, everything that they're doing right now is kind of scary. So for us, you know, we just want to go out there and do our part. We know those guys going to take care of theirs.
Eddie, I'm sure coming from Alabama, you're used to having good facilities, but just curious, has the expansion here at Halas Hall made any kind of impression on you as far as what, you know,
most definitely.
NFL players
yeah,
want to have?
Most definitely. I said it when we came back, I couldn't believe it. I feel like they giving Alabama a run for their money, you know. So, sorry, coach. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm just saying, but it's nice, man. It just makes you want to come in here. It just lifts you up. You know, you walk to a place like this and see all the things and everything that they invested into us as players, and for us to go out there and perform well. So I feel like we owe that in return to them to come out here, practice hard, and even in game days go hard.
Eddie, how much do you think about your interception against Aaron Rodgers last year and kind of all that followed that for you personally?
I don't really think about it no more. You know, when it happened, I thought about it, you know, indiscreet. But I feel like I need a few more. You know, that's the goal, to get a few more off of him, at least get a touchdown. So that's the goal.
Eddie, David Montgomery hasn't really been seen outside of this building.
Yeah.
Trying to limit him. What do you think he's going to show people in the season?
Oh, man, David's a dog. That's just plain right, and like just flat out, he's a dog. He's a gamer, and just for him to see how he come out here and compete against us, our defense, it just shows like he's something special. You know, he's one of those X factors we have on offense right now. And him and Tariq and Mike, to see what that backfield can do, you know, it's kind of crazy. So we're really expecting a lot from him as a young guy.
Eddie, you guys are coming up on the 1-year anniversary of trading for Khalil Mack. What do you remember about the day that you guys got him? What you were doing, where you were?
I mean, I think y'all asked me this question like 3 or 4 times in camp. I was actually like asleep. I just woke up, and like everybody was calling my phone, texting my phone. So I'm like, there's something going on. So I get up, like I look on Instagram, and I just go to Twitter, and I see, I'm like, oh man, we got Mac. It was kind of crazy. It just makes you want to go even harder. Then when he come in the building, stepped on, put his pads on, and come to practice, I feel like that took everyone's to another level. You know, the way you work, the way you practice. You know, you got to show him that he's not only big dog on his team, that we're going to match his energy.
What have you seen with him in camp? You know, having him a full camp this year?
Just Mac being Mac. You know, you see it in practice. It's nothing new. You know, he still goes out there, plays, practice hard. You know, he's a lead on the team, runs to the ball every time it's time for us to take the field. So just the same things he's been doing.
What's it going to take for this defense to force as many turnovers as it did last season?
Just play our game, stay on top of our keys, and just keep executing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Eddie.